What's up, everybody? So in this clip, it is Konnan talking some smack about Big Kevin Nash.
Nash is a classic opportunist. I mean, even if I don't like him, the guy's charismatic. He's good on the mic, and he was part of a group that revolutionized wrestling, NWO. So there, I put him over. Just because I don't like him doesn't mean I don't know what his strong suits were. But one of his strong suits was being an opportunist. And he was very jealous of Goldberg. Bro, I used to ride in the car with them, so I heard everything they said. And he was happy to do that to feed his ego. Just like when Lance Storm came in and he was kind of hot, and Kevin went out there and just destroyed him in like 15 seconds. And here's another one, and I don't even know if you know about this, Disco, just to show you what type of prick your friend is. When Chris Benoit was getting his big push from Kevin Sullivan pre-woman incident, Benoit was going to win some match that Rodman was in. And I heard when Nash went to Hogan, even though he didn't like Hogan, he went and he told them, "Hey, brother, the USA Today is going to be there. Don't you think that the page in the front should be you and Rodman and not Rodman and Benoit?" So Hogan went and squashed that, so Benoit wouldn't win it. Nash, of course, scored points with Hogan and buried Benoit because all he ever did was bury Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, because I would hear it all the fucking time. So don't give me that shit about Nash.
Hey, Konnan, let me ask you this. Are you considering Eric one of the inmates that was running the asylum?
No, he was the warden, and he let the other guys run amok. He let them do what he wanted. I mean, he was always quick to, discipline me and Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero and all of us, but very rarely, when did he ever really discipline Hogan? You know what I'm saying? The guy went out there, hogged all the segments, was trying to fucking sabotage, Hall and Nash, and, Bischoff never did anything to him. He never did anything to the guys on top.
Okay, so some sour grapes on Conan's part, I think, in regards to the hierarchy and who got the favoritism in WCW. But make some points. Was it Kevin Nash burying all these guys in WCW? Guys like Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit. I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily think he was burying them. They signed Kevin Nash to a lot of money. A lot of money. Scott Hall, too. When you're signing a guy to that much money, he's your guy. That it is what it is. He's your guy. He's the guy who's going to be in the main event. He's the guy who's going to be at the top of the card, towards the top of the card, if not the top of the card. So I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily Kevin Nash burying everybody. I just think WCW is invested in Kevin Nash. They're not going to pay Kevin Nash all this money just to have Chris Benoit or Eddie Guerrero beat him. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. That's just kind of how I interpret it. I mean, in the end, those guys all left. They went to WWE, became huge stars over there. It's like you see these guys in WCW that they had, and I don't think mainstream wrestling fans were ready to make them the main event guys yet. I think there was a reason why it happened when it did, because yeah, maybe it could have happened a little sooner, but we're talking 1997, 1998. I don't think Eddie Guerrero is a world champion in 1998. Chris Benoit, I don't. Those guys needed time to establish themselves. Now, they were great. Don't get me wrong. They were great wrestlers in 1997 and 1998. But they were still rather new in the grand scheme of things to mainstream audiences. So I don't think they were really held back. They had a chance to show them their stuff. And then they went to WWE and took it to another level. WWE recognized that they had potential to be great and they swooped in and got him when they could. But it's not like they went to WWE and all of a sudden they were in the main event. They took a couple years to establish themselves there too. They didn't just like jump in the main event. But I mean, they got there a lot faster than they were getting there prior to jumping. But that's because WWE invested in them and brought them in with the idea that they were going to get there. I don't know, just my thought. Full screen. Also, just a heads up. Nash and Konnan have since buried the hatchet since this interview took place. Just wanted to make you guys aware of that. I know that this is an older clip, but there's still a lot to discuss about what he said, because a lot of other people kind of felt the same way, not necessarily about Nash, but about all the top guys in WCW. So that's why I shared this clip. All right, thanks for watching.